Greetings and salutations, friends. Welcome to some more Microsoft Flight Simulator. And we've got another patch out. Yes, this is, what is this? This is 1.9.3, and it's around 9 gig, apparently. At least that's what they're telling us. So, besides the Japan update, which obviously many of us are going to go run into the marketplace and download the content bundle, right? Because it doesn't do it itself for some bizarre reason. There are other things that they've done. So, airports. They've added 3 new airports. Malaga Airport, Clermont-Ferrand, and Bryant Army Airfield Heliport. Wait, heliport? Interesting. Over 60 other airports have had improvements based on community feedback, and control towers added on over 700 or more US airports. I say, that's a lot. UI improvements. 7 sensitivity screen is now displayed correctly. The manual cache management UI has been improved. ATC options should now correctly be saved. Livery selection menu should now work as expected. The music can now be deactivated before or during the initial download on startup. Aerodynamics, the collision problem at negative altitudes, has been fixed. Braking power on the ground has been tweaked to reflect more realistic braking distances. Fuel consumption updated. Mass problem has been fixed for some airplanes. A plane with no fuel leak system should no longer lead to a crash. Aircraft gyroscopic stability can now be set within the SDK toolset. Planes? Incorrect energy formulas resulting in inaccurate autopilot behavior have been fixed. Autopilot overshooting altitude capture during descent has also been fixed. Allow up to 8,500 FPM max climb speed after the new AP is now more accurately respecting the 6,000 foot per minute. Visuals and animation. The Boeing 787, the wing flex has been improved. The Beechcraft King Air, the rudder pedals animation is now correct. The Cessna 152 fixed the graphic glitch when switching between cockpit and external views. And the Airbus A320 fixed the issues relating to the co-pilot AP button lights. General aviation systems. The Cessna 172 Skyhawk fixed impossible connection with the ATC when bus 1 is on and bus 2 is off. The Cessna 208B Caravan fixed the PFD and MFD button issues between pilot and co-pilot sides. The Robin DR400 Cadet can now request ground services to the ATC. The Cessna 172 Skyhawk G1000 fixed the checklist camera issue during the after start engine procedure. The 152 and 152 Aerobat fixed the pilot heat not working. The 152 and the 152 Aerobat fixed the co-pilot not setting master switch on during the start engine checklist procedure. The TBM 930 fixed the fuel tank incorrect tooltip. General aviation and avionics. Garmin Avionics fixed the issue with the auto switch from nav to lock on approach, and also fixed the wrong country codes. The G1000 and 3000 fixed the on-flight plan entering a duplicate waypoint page, performance improvements when displaying the nearest airport page, and it is now possible to activate approach legs. The Cessna 172 fixed the automatic change from GPS to VOR1 when a flight plan or approach is loaded, fixed the crash when deleting direct to flight plan. The Cessna 208 Grand Caravan fixed the default state of avionics standby and avionics bus guarded switches when starting cold dark. And the citation CJ4, the upper menu and ENG buttons are no longer inoperative. Airliner systems. The Airbus A320 fixed the APU fuel flow shutting down the left engine. The 787 and the Airbus fixed a lack of elevator authority with the FBW at low speeds. With the 787 fixed the APU fault light behavior. The A320 fixed the maximum thrust display. The 787 altitude target can no longer be set to negative values. And the intercontinental version fixed the wrong approach VREF speeds. Avionics fixes. The 787, the HUD colors and layout improvements. The A320 fixed missing runway in the MCDU perf page, improved disappearance of legs too early when following a flight plan. Stars are filtered to display the ones connected to the selected runway. Invalid entry has been replaced by not allowed messages in the MCDU, and the flaps F indication replaced by full when flaps completely deployed. Weather. The wind gradient when getting close to the ground on live weather has been fixed. Lightning have been added when applicable. Marketplace. The average rating has been fine-tuned for more accuracy. Third-party filter is now sorted alphabetically. Improved notification system for content bought outside of the marketplace existing in the community folder. Version history is now available when an item is patched. The content manager. The community content is now clearly identified in the content manager. The content manager button in the marketplace will redirect to the corresponding add-on content. And version history is now available when an item is patched. The installation manager. The title's audio is properly muted when the window is out of focus. Graphics settings UI during onboarding has been fixed. Apply and save pop-up now display only once during the graphics settings in the onboarding. The localization. Various typos have been fixed in multiple languages. Cameras. Fixed a visual glitch happening in camera cuts. Fixed the wrong LOD selection when a camera cut happens. Camera reset function does not revert the camera's speed and momentum to default values anymore. Input. The CH Eclipse default preset has been added. Track IR can now be enabled or disabled in the camera panel. Track IR is now disabled on the pause menu. And improved support for Logitech multi-panel. Bush trips. Back on track should no longer show the wrong airport. World. Ocean rendering has been improved. Wave scale, foam, and reflections. Water mask has been edited to display actual aerial image near the shore in some areas. Luminance has been tweaked for some photogrammetry cities, such as Napoli, Darwin, San Giorgio, and Las Vegas. Fixed terraforming issues, which was causing issues in the KTEX airport. Water elevation has been updated to improve rivers, the Missouri River around Toronto, for example, and lakes. Fixed detail map rendering around one-way and taxi borders. Well, that was a fair amount, wasn't it? Right, now some of you may have noticed that I took off from a rather interesting airfield and flew over London. Why, I wonder? Well, it's time for some more aviation history. Actually, the flight I am going to do here is between as close to Hounslow Heath as I can get and La Bourget Airport, just outside of Paris. Why, I hear you cry? Well, this was actually originally flown by the Aircraft Transport and Travel Limited. It was founded back on the 5th of October 1916. It was formed by George Holt Thomas using a fleet of former military DH-4A biplanes. It operated relief flights between Folkestone and Ghent. The inception actually was from RAF Hendon to Paris La Bourget Airport, and it took about 2.5 hours and cost £21 per passenger. That's a heck of a bargain. I'm sure inflation probably has adjusted that price tag. On the 25th of August 1919, the company used DH-16s to start a regular service from Hounslow Heath to Le Bourget, and it was the first regular daily international service in the world. The airline soon gained a reputation for reliability despite problems with bad weather. In November 1918, it won the first British civil airmail contract. 6 Royal Air Force DH-9 aircraft modified with Napier-Lion engines were lent to the company from October to operate the airmail service between Hawking and Cologne. The aircraft transport and travel took over from the RAF on the 15th of August 1919. In February of 1920, with its parent aircraft manufacturing company limited, Airco, AT&T, also known as Airco Air Express, became part of BSA Group. It continued operations under the control of Frank and Daimler Air. As well as the Hounslow to Paris service, the AT&T also operated a Croydon to Amsterdam service on behalf of KLM. On the 17th of May 1920, DH-16 operated the first KLM service between London and Amsterdam. AT&T continued to operate, but Daimler BSA withdrew support and, overcome in debt in November 1920, placed in liquidation, and on the 17th of December it ran its last service. By 1921, 6 companies operated a London to Paris service, 3 French and 3 British. The French airlines were receiving subsidies from the French government, and in protest, the 3 British airlines stopped services by the 28th of February. Through a series of takeovers and mergers, the modern-day British Airways can trace part of its legacy back to the aircraft transport and travel that initially flew that line between Hounslow and Paris. Well, there you go. From a very simple aircraft and transport travel company initiated back in October of 1916, all the way through time up to the current British Airways, flying all over the world. Not too shabby. Well, that's it from me. Until the next update, we'll be back. Go ahead and check out my Twitch channel. It's going to be obviously Twitch/Mr. Adrian SW. From time to time, I do live flights on there. I may do a VFR tour of England. I have in mind a couple of places that I would like to check out, although I might actually just turn that into a YouTube video. Anyway, enough waffle. That's it from me. I hope you all have a wonderful time, and remember, fly safe.